So some months ago, I don't know exactly how long, I put out the A-tier argument for the existence of God and then the B-tier argument for belief in God. And that was just kind of a reflection of how I'm thinking about these concepts. And what I wanted to do is I've kind of been mulling this over more, having more conversations about it, and really just defining terms, condensing things, generalizing things, and just kind of ruggedizing it. So I wanted to actually come out with a syllogism for you guys. And just put it out there. So what I want to do right now is I want to actually just provide a high-level summary of the syllogism. I'm planning on releasing another video pretty soon, which goes over the definitions and thoroughly defends better the syllogisms and the steps of the argument. But for now, I just want to give a high-level summary, basic intuition, give you a sense of what's coming, and hopefully be a reference point, because I want to try and actually make it technical and a little rugged. So hopefully this serves as a guide to that whole process that you may or may not choose to experience. So let's get to it. Where am I? All right, so here's the syllogism. I call it the argument from normal experience, which is as opposed to the argument from religious experience. You don't have to have any particular religious experience to believe in God. You can just have normal person experiences. So the argument is premise one: personhood is characterized by the symmetric experience of reality. And that is to say, personhood is characterized by experiencing reality as the same type of structure that the person itself is. And this is kind of eccentric. This is kind of my weird way of defining personhood, and everything is really baked into that first premise. The second premise is, if personhood is characterized by the symmetric experience of reality, then reality is best regarded by persons as a person itself. And then number three, reality is best regarded as a person by persons. So I want to try and give the 2-minute version here. The way I define personhood is kind of twofold. First of all, person is a conscious being. A person is someone who experiences things. And second part is you experience things in a certain kind of structure. So the structure of a person, in my mind, is, or the way I'm defining it for this argument, is a person is someone who experiences specifically a series of mental models about the world, and the premises or the principles of those mental models do not mutually derive. So for example, dumb example, I'll try and give more general and thorough examples in the upcoming video. Dumb example is, you have some mental models about how economics works. You have some concepts about businesses and money and where does money come from and how do you balance your bank account. So you have mental models around the economy, and you also have mental models about fluid going through a hose, some basic fluid mechanics. These mental models have principles at the top, some sort of laws of how the universe works, and these laws of how the universe works don't derive each other. You can't derive economics from fluid mechanics, and you can't derive fluid mechanics from economics. So that's what characterizes personhood in my definition, is you have mental models whose principles don't derive from each other. And so if you're a person, right, you're a conscious being who experiences reality in this way, what does reality appear to be, right? We're just kind of inverting it. Well, reality appears to be, to you by definition, reality appears to be a whole bunch of principles which don't derive from each other. And so if you're a person, what does the universe, the universe as you experience, if it's a bunch of principles that don't derive from one another, well, we only have one concept from that. It's a person. We're just kind of inverting the definition of, I experience the world as a person. And this all kind of flows from the definitions, and I want to lay that out more explicitly, more thoroughly in the other video. But that's what a person is you basically only have one concept for what the world is. If you are a conscious being who experiences the world as a bunch of, as operating by principles that don't mutually derive, you only have one schema, one concept for that, and that is itself a person. And so if you have only one concept of the world, which is a person, that actually maps onto your experience, then that's premise two. It's the best way you can represent reality is as itself a person. And so that's the argument. Kind of threw a lot at you in a short amount of time, but that's what the extended upcoming video is for. So hopefully I'll see you there.